Good morning. It is time for Crochet Business Chat. I totally forgot why I was here. I just realized I didn't put makeup on today, and we're going to get rolling anyway. So, welcome to those of you who are here today. Have you ever sat looking at a blank computer wondering, what the heck am I going to post today? I know I should be posting social content, or I need to create a video, or I need to create a blog post, but I have no idea what to write. We are going to talk about that today and give you a strategy to make this process easy. So, welcome to another episode of Crochet Business Chat Podcast. My name is Pam Grice, Crochetpreneur. I am on a mission to help 100,000 makers build financial freedom through crochet. No makeup required. So happy to have you all here. I see lots of you are here already this morning. I was a minute or so late. I have an empty coffee cup. I'm glad I have my water because I'm going to need it. I was a minute late because I was creating an opt-in for you. So I did create an opt-in and I got it all set up and I got the email ready, and I'm going to put the link in the chat for those of you who are here live. It's for an AI content prompt, an AI content generator prompt that goes along with the content types that we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to link that right now in the chat for you. And I am going to go over to the presentation so we can just walk through it together. And if you see me, looking over here, it's because I'm just catching up with the content so that I stay on track. So welcome again. For those of you who are here live, go ahead and click like on this video so other people can be notified that we are here live talking about crochet business. If you haven't already subscribed for Crochet Business Tips, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we go live, every Monday and every other Tuesday. Go ahead and click subscribe. Share this video. If you're listening to the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform, leave a review. I think that's everything we need to chat about as far as that's concerned. All right, let's talk about, I may sneeze. I apologize. Allergies are crazy. Okay, I need to tell my husband that I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing a podcast.
Why?
Right now, I'm doing it.
Why are you doing it?
It's my job. Bye.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, he says hello, everyone. All right. So, 4 types of content that attracts, nurtures, and converts your audience. So, the biggest problem we have when we create content online is typically we're like, well, my whole goal is I need to make a sale. I created this product. I want it to sell. I'm going to post something and say, buy this thing. Or I created a pattern. Here's the pattern. Go buy it. Right. And all of our content starts to look like a used car salesman, right? Constantly just hustling for the sale. And that is not going to build a sustainable, profitable business for you. So we want to talk about these other types of content. So the first type of content that we want to talk about is clarity content. Now, clarity content, if you think about what things are your customers' pain points, what confuses them, what misconceptions might they have about your products or about your patterns or about crocheting in general. So clarity content brings clarity to those things. It busts myths, it corrects misconceptions, and it opens their eyes to new possibilities. So this might look like, if you're a product seller, sorry. We'll see if that's it. Sorry, excuse me. We'll see. Let's see. If you're a product seller, it might be something like, why handmade isn't expensive, it's valuable. Or if you're a pattern designer, just because this looks difficult doesn't mean it is difficult. I'm going to make it easy for you. So you look at what is it that you're offering and what misconceptions might customers have about that thing, or what objections might they have to that thing, and how can you bust down those misconceptions to get them to buy into your product. So this is a really fun one, and then you can just do it with a simple carousel content or face to video content, any sort of thing that addresses and reframes objections that your customers might have. You're debunking their limiting beliefs around crochet or around why they need the product that you're selling. So you can get super creative with this. And this generates the sort of content that like creates those light bulb moments for your customers. So they see the content and they're like, oh, all right, maybe I do need that. Or, oh yeah, that would be a perfect gift for so-and-so. Like, Omni stuffies aren't just for kids, right? And then talking about that. Like, what is it that your customers like balk at when it comes to purchasing your products, and then bust down those belief systems with your content. And you're doing it subtly, right? You're not just in your face, but you're doing it in a way that creates those aha moments for them. So clarity content is the first one. The next type of content is connection content. So this is content that builds trust, relatability, and emotional resonance. So you want your customers to like you, right? The whole process of converting buyers is know, like, and trust. And this is where this happens, is in this connection content, where you show up as yourself. You show up makeup free on podcast day, because you're just a real human being and you're hustling and trying to get things done just like everyone else. So this could be the why behind what's going on with your business. It could be behind the scenes content of what's happening in your home or in your yarn studio, that kind of stuff. So some examples would be for a product seller, why I started making baby blankets after my NICU journey, right? So you're bringing in your own story to connect that to the customer's story, so they get to understand you better, understand why you're doing what you're doing better, and what the passion is behind it. And it's always focused on making that connection with the customer, not just like, here I am talking about myself, but here I am talking about how our stories are interconnected and how the products that I create now serve you because of my own story. And then for pattern designers, could be something like the time I completely frogged a sweater design and what it taught me. So this creates that sort of content where they're like, oh my gosh, that'd be so awful, right? So they can totally connect. It creates that emotional connection. They really get what that feels like for you, but then you can take that and turn it around into a positive thing. So those are just some examples of how to use connection content to connect with your customers. So when you're doing connection content, you're sharing your why, you're sharing your values, you're sharing behind the scenes moments. You're being open about creative struggles, process quirks that you have in your business, or simply bringing in your personality into your content so that they get to know you and they're like, oh, like we could totally be friends, kind of thing. All right, so that is connection content. The next type of content is called catalyst content. Catalyst means getting into movement, taking action, right? So what we're trying to do is move the customer into action. We're building momentum and creating micro wins. Now that action is not always buy this thing. That's the next type of content we're going to talk about. But this one is about getting them interacting with your products, getting them to share their user-generated content about your products or your patterns. So that might look like, with product sellers, you could say something like, how I styled this scarf to create 4 different outfits. Can you think of a 5th? And then you can ask them to post that. So now they're engaging. If they have one of your scarves, or if they have a scarf that's similar, they could post a response video of what they did with the scarf to make a cute outfit or something like that. So you can think of how can you get the customer to interact with your products in a way that creates user-generated content or just gets them moving and in action with your products. Next, for product sellers would be, here's this simple stitch hack. Here's a simple stitch hack that changed the look of my finished product entirely. Give it a try. So you could share a certain hack of like how to create your rounds without a seam, or create color changes, invisible color changes, those kinds of things. Sharing those strategies and then having the customer try it and share their user-generated content too. So all of this is about getting the customer to take action. So with this type of content, you want to give your customer tips and challenges to help them become buyers. And you're providing quick wins that your audience can try. So this is like really fun things. I know Katie from Hooked by Katie and other people now have started doing this, has a scavenger hunt on her blog where she sends people around to various places on her blog. So this gets them engaging with certain content she wants to get in front of them. It gets them moving around her blog, so she gets ad revenue from their different, clicking through her blog. And it creates this fun interactive activity that gets the customers moving and engaging with our content. So this is called Catalyst content. All right, the next is conversion content. So this is the one that most people don't struggle with. Here's the thing I made, you should buy it, right? But we want your conversion content to actually convert and not repel people and not get people to be like, oh my gosh, stop telling me to buy your stuff, right? So we're doing it in a different way, in a way that creates energy and excitement around your products. So that would look like invite them to buy in a way that feels aligned and compelling. So that might be as simple as creating limited edition items rather than, having an item that's just evergreen and sitting there that doesn't incite any sort of action. So limited edition Valentine mug rugs, only 15 sets available. So now you've created a sense of urgency so that people can go take action. Or early bird pricing ends tonight, grab the Cozy Cal bundle now. So again, creating urgency. You can also use this to explain benefits and align the product with your customer's deeper need. So you're focusing on outcomes and, answering the question, what will they gain from the purchase of your product or pattern? You want them to feel excited. So you're giving them that adrenaline rush of what it's going to be like to have the product, and giving them sort of an emotional glimpse of what life would be like when they have your product. So this is less, look what I made, you should buy it, and more, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this product. I know you guys are going to love it. Unfortunately, I only have this many left, or unfortunately, the sale ends, blah, blah, blah. But I would love for you to get your hands on it. If you're excited like I am, go grab it now, right? So it's a totally different vibe than, here's the thing, will you buy my thing? You want to generate some excitement and energy around the products. So again, the 4 types of content are clarity content, connection content, catalyst content, and conversion content. What types of content are you missing in your content strategy? I have created for you today a AI content prompt that you can simply plug into your favorite AI, tell it exactly what you're making, and it will spit out ideas for content in each of these 4 categories. I'm just going to share my screen for a second. Let me make sure. I got to find the right thing. Let's see. Instructions, content ideas. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So I used this prompt, and here you have content ideas. The prompt I use. I run a crochet business selling chunky winter scarves and hats on Etsy. I want to attract cozy, loving women who value handmade, slow fashion, and gift giving. Please give me 4 content ideas in the 4 categories above. So basically, I grabbed the content prompt that I'm giving you, and I plugged in a couple of different things like what I'm selling, who I want to attract, and what I'm looking for is these content in 4 categories. And here's what it spit out for me. Content ideas for selling chunky winter scarves and hats on Etsy. Here's your ideal customer. All right, so clarity content is going to shift belief, bust myths, and show the value of handmade. So why this chunky scarf costs more than fast fashion version and why it's worth every penny. Handmade doesn't equal hobby. The real cost and heart behind every crochet piece, right? So you're addressing those objections that your customers might have as far as why does this cost more? Why can I buy it cheaper at Walmart? And explaining the heart behind your products. 3 reasons slow fashion is better for the planet. You're engaging with their core value system if they're like in the eco-friendly space. Here's a content reel for show 1 hour time lapse of making a hat to spotlight your craftsmanship. And then you could create a carousel of think handmade is just yarn, think again. And you're showing all of your process behind it, of the planning and the photographing and all of those things. So that's the clarity content. And again, this is all from one single prompt. What's the connection content? Building trust and emotional connection. Here's the suggestions. I started making scarves when my mom was going through chemo. She hated being cold. And this is a lot of people's stories, is that they started, making softer products or really paying attention to the feel, the texture, or the fiber content when someone was ill, right? Packing up holiday orders while my favorite candle burns, my kind of joy, right? So you're connecting. I love this peaceful vibe, and here's a video of me doing my thing. Here's what cozy means to me. Sharing your story. Behind the scenes reel, choosing yarn, sipping tea, labeling tags for an order, and then a photo of you wearing your first ever crochet scarf and today's bestseller. So again, you're creating that behind the scenes content of your why, what things look like for you, all of that. And okay, catalyst content. It inspires action and engagement. Take the cozy style quiz. Find your winter vibe, boho, chic, or classic, and you could create a little quiz for them. 3 ways to style your chunky scarf for maximum winter vibes. Tag a friend who's always cold. We all know we have a friend who's always cold. Well, in my friend group, it's me. So tag your friend who's always cold, and then you could have them engaging with your content that way. 7 days of cozy. Post 1 outfit accessory a day using your products. Video. Here's what 10 happy customers say about their handmade gifts. So again, all of this is helping the customer to engage with your stuff. Okay, finally, conversion content. Selling clearly and confidently with urgency and warmth. Holiday orders close December 10th. Don't miss the chance to buy a cozy gift. Only 5 cozy chic hat and scarf sets left, ready to ship. Again, this is all that creating that sense of urgency and compelling them to make a purchase. Use this code this weekend only. This scarf has been our sellers 3 winters in a row. Here's why. And then share some highlights and reviews. And then a video or GIF of packaging an order with a call to action. Imagine receiving this in the mail. All right. So you see, it creates all of these content types for your one thing where you might have taken a photo and said, hey, I made this hat. You should buy it. Instead, now you have all of these ideas for weeks worth of content about that one thing. And you could rotate these types of content. Some people put together a spreadsheet that would have, the topic, the content type. So it's a reel, it's a carousel, it's a static post, or it's a blog post or an email, whatever, and you're rotating that. And then you're taking these 4 content types and rotating those. So I'm doing a blog post with clarity content. I'm doing an email with connection content. I'm doing a social media post with catalyst content, like that, so that it keeps everything, what's the word? Interesting. Okay, it just keeps everything more interesting. So I hope that makes sense. I think that's really fun, a fun way of sharing your content, coming up with content. And I did, like I said, I created that email prompt for you. And I shared the link in the chat. I'll share it one more time, and I will put it in the product description and in the blog post for this video as well. Wilka said, is that attachment available in CBA? It's not. So I would go ahead and grab it. I haven't put it in CBA. So this is something, I just created it like literally 5 minutes before this video went live. So yeah, I haven't done anything with it. So I hope you found that really helpful. I'm going to go look. I saw that there are a couple of questions. I just want to be sure to answer those. Oh, you had to say that right now. I had to frog an entire skirt design. I'm in the process of redoing it. Oh, Sarah, that's terrible. Okay. I would say I'm missing everything. Okay, Kathy. Then you need to do something new. Let's do something new. Sarah said, I know I struggle with the emotional part of marketing. I'm very much here's the thing, please buy it. And I know it's not the greatest. It's not, because it doesn't inspire anyone, right? If somebody came out and said, hey, I made a movie, you should go. Would you go? Would you be like, oh my gosh, did you see so-and-so made a movie? We should go. I don't know anything about it. I don't know why I should go. I don't know what it's going to add to my life, but I should go pay $20 and go see the movie. No, you want to share your excitement, share the details, share what life will be like if they engage with your content. Should I be creating content on a daily basis and saving it to post later? Sure. Whatever you can fit in your schedule. So if you're the kind of person who wants to batch create things and schedule them down the road, I think that's always a good idea, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow you could get sick. Tomorrow you could be invited to a vacation in the Bahamas. So having things scheduled out is really a good strategy. So I do recommend that you do that if you can. You don't always have to post daily, but I think you need to create content daily. So what does that mean? You're sending an email. Maybe Monday you send an email. Maybe you do social media 3 times a week. Then you do your email once a week. You do a blog post once a week. You do a YouTube video once a week. So now you have all of these different sorts of content. Each of those pieces of content is directing the customer to this place that you're focusing on this week or this month. But having just a single piece of content that says, hey, I made this thing, you should buy it, is not going to do the trick. And then posting every day, hey, I made this thing. Remember yesterday I told you I made this thing? I still have it. You should buy it. All of that just is not engaging or inspiring for your customers. I'm not great at shuffling these very evenly. A spreadsheet will be in order. I know someone who can help you with that, Katie. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. I think we all have our sort of the thing that we lean to. So I lean more towards connection content. I think that's like the psychotherapist in me, that I just love like storytelling and connecting and saying like, yeah, me too. I've experienced that, or we've experienced that, or oh, I operate that same way too. And I forget to do some of that other kind of content. So having that on a spreadsheet would make it really easy. I am missing the clarity content. Never thought about it. And when it comes to conversion posts, I feel like it would sound pushy no matter what. I'm missing the how-to and not very good at communication. Okay, so you can have AI help you with that, or you can, connect with a community that can help you with that. The conversion posts. Okay, the thing is, we have to get over the mindset of I'm being pushy when I want people to buy my stuff. And typically, you're going to sound pushy when you want people to buy your stuff when you're in it for you. When your why is, the reason I'm making and selling my things is because I want to make money. That's going to sound pushy because you don't care about your customers. You don't care about their experience. You don't care about their needs. You don't care about serving them. And I'm not saying that's you, but I'm I'm just saying that that person will sound pushy, like the used car salesman who's like, I don't really care about you. I just want your money. But when you get to a place, and this has, sometimes you have to do heart work around this, of a place of, I have a business that serves people by providing them this amazing thing that will change their life in this way. And I can get really bought into that because it feels purpose driven, it feels service driven. And when I'm offering something to people, I'm doing them a favor, right? So I'm not taking from them, I'm giving to them by saying, look at this thing, right? Okay. Burt's Bees lip balm. You live in Colorado, it's super dry. If you don't have this, your lips are going to be dry. You're going to be miserable all the time, and you should probably buy it, right? So I am so happy to spend my money on this because it makes my life better. Now, those of you who know me know I'm addicted to lip stuff. I have lip stuff everywhere, but when you focus on the need of your customer and knowing the thing I'm offering is making their life better, the thing I'm offering is awesome, I'm not taking from them. When I'm saying buy my course, when I'm saying I made this pattern, when I'm saying here's a product I made, you should buy it, I'm actually saying I'm trying to make your life better. And your clarity content is going to be really specific about that, to say, you know, you feel like the person is just trying to sell to you, but here's why your life is actually going to be better. Here's why I'm not fleecing you by charging 3 times what they're charging at Walmart. All of those things, like you're sharing about how you care about the customer, and it makes it less salesy and more servicey. So once you get to that place where you really are excited about your products, then your customers will be too. But if you're doing it just to make money for you and you're not doing it for your customers, there's going to be a place where your customer is like, I'm not inspired by paying your bills. Doesn't inspire me. So change your language around that. Batching sounds like it would be for me. I'm using Planoly to schedule Instagram and Facebook posts. Awesome. I really like these categories. They make a lot of sense to me. I feel really overwhelmed by everything that needs doing for social media, so this helps. Do you have a sample spreadsheet for social media planning? Gosh, I do. I have lots of stuff. If you go to my go to my YouTube channel and type in social media in the search, like just from the Crochetpreneur YouTube channel, type in social media. I did a whole series of social media content, and there's lots of resources in there that you can get your hands on. I think that would be helpful. Yeah, well, I probably do. Like I said, this has become a problem lately for me, so it's probably something that I need to work on. It's that I create so many opt-ins and so many resources that I create it, I offer it to everyone, and then it just escapes my mind and I go to work on the next thing. And so if you're like, oh, I think you created something about this, it could be like, maybe, yeah, I should probably know, but it's just not my strength. I do have a spreadsheet, but you know, I will look. We did a thing in Momentum, I think. Wilka, are you in Momentum? If you're in Momentum, I think we did a thing in there with some AI prompts. Okay, I've gotten more interest in my stuff when I backed up on the pushy sales stuff and started posting more of my personal projects as well as my process fix. Yes, exactly. That's what happens is people start to get, the more you lean back and you just share, the more people buy into what you're doing. I know the people that I follow online, like potters and people who do glass work and artists, I'm looking at their behind the scenes content. And then if I ever want to purchase, handmade pottery, I know who to go to because I've watched their videos over and over again. So yeah, I think it's in Momentum that maybe that resource for some AI prompts is in there. Okay, we are going to be done for today. And I'm so grateful for you all for being here. I love chatting with you every Monday. I'm not sure what we're going to be chatting about next week. I'll have to think up something interesting for you. And if you have any tips or ideas, you could always send them to me. And I think that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week. Grab your AI content prompts, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.